They are not worth it. Former 343 Industries creative recommends devs to stay away from Halo Studios, slams its executives, and claims they are a cancer. However, there are also members of the industry who are pessimistic about the company's new stage, as they believe nothing will change. One of them is Will Waltz, who worked as an animator on several Halo titles and was part of the 343 Industries for over a decade. He even criticized Pierre Hintz, who is in charge of the new era of Halo, as he considers his vision to be a barrier for creativity. For this reason, he believes developers should not join the company at this time. What did I tell you guys? It's just like I said in my last video. These suit and tie corpos want Fortnite, and by the prophet of truth, they're going to have Fortnite. Hello fellow travelers and welcome to the Hard Light Network. Alrighty guys, we are back at it again with another video, and today we are talking about a little bit of industry drama. Recently, 343 Industries, the studio that took over the Halo franchise from its creators Bungie, has rebranded itself as Halo Studios. A change you might be aware of if you've been following my channel and saw my last video on Halo Infinite. However, you might not be aware that a former developer by the name of Will Waltz has come out with some pretty strong statements against the company. But before we get into it guys, if you want to support this channel, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to go that extra mile, there is a super thanks option down below. Anyway guys, you know what time it is, so let's get into this article. So today's... Good lord. So today's video comes to us from levelup.com and is titled, "They Are Not Worth It. Former 343 Industries creative recommends devs to stay away from Halo Studios, slams its executives, and claims they are a cancer."
My cancer is back.
So even from the outset, with the characteristically wordy title, we are off to a crazy start. And while I'm sure that Mr. Waltz has biases of his own, I think it's safe to say that with 10 years under his belt at this company, he probably knows a thing or two about its inner workings. Moving forward, Halo is being talked about everywhere after 343 Industries transitioned to Halo Studios, a restructured team responsible for the future of the popular Microsoft and Xbox franchise. Some fans are optimistic about this change, especially due to the adjustments in the studio's direction. However, there are also members of the industry who are pessimistic about the company's new stage, as they believe nothing will change. One of them is Will Waltz, who worked as an animator on several Halo titles and was part of the 343 Industries for over a decade. The creative made a post on his LinkedIn profile that caught the attention of players, as he harshly criticizes 343 Industries and its executives. He also recommends that developers stay away from Halo Studios, as he believes nothing will improve. Will Waltz worked at Bungie as part of the development team for Halo Reach. He later joined 343 Industries and collaborated on the creation of Halo 4 and Halo Infinite, so he is familiar with the saga and what has happened to it in recent years. The creative expressed little excitement about the birth of Halo Studios and the arrival of new projects. In his message, he recommended that developers stay away from the studio, as he believes it's not worth being part of due to one simple reason: its leadership. He stated that 343 Industries has had some of the best developers in the industry, but they have been limited by the executives, whom he referred to as a cancer. What did I tell you guys? It's just like I said in my last video. These suit and tie corpos want Fortnite, and by the prophet of truth, they're going to have Fortnite. It comes as absolutely no surprise to me that the executives are inserting themselves into the creative process in order to feel like executives. To tell you the truth, I will never fully understand the corpo suit mindset of hiring a bunch of professionals to do a job and then constantly coming down from your office to get in the way of doing their job. It really must be some sort of fatal combination of narcissism and greed that deludes them into thinking that they're actually game developers. I kind of joked about it earlier, but it really does ring true that a lot of these companies simply want to emulate the success of Fortnite. And it's not just the executives, but the shareholders too. They want an easy win with a program that basically prints money. But there are no real shortcuts in life, and unfortunately, a lot of this interference just ends up damaging the quality of the game on the other side. He even criticized Pierre Hintz, who is in charge of the new era of Halo, as he considers his vision to be a barrier for creativity. For this reason, he believes developers should not join the company at this time. Quote, I worked for them as a top-performing industry animator for 13 years. I do not recommend working for 343 Industries or Halo Studios. It's like Comcast calling themselves Xfinity and hoping nobody notices. Steer clear and stay safe out there. They are not worth it. And for those of you who might not know, Pierre Hintz is the new studio head who took over after the former head, Bonnie Ross, stepped down. And though he has been with the company since 2018, he did not become the studio head until 2022. This means he has been the head developer for Halo Infinite and Halo the Master Chief Collection. And this is the guy responsible for giving us the controversial "we start a new chapter today" quote. Although it may not be entirely Pierre's fault, as he is actually splitting his responsibilities with two other developers, General Manager Brian Koski and Elizabeth Van Wyck, who is the new business and operations lead. So it seems that in the wake of Bonnie Ross's departure, there's a real splitting of the kingdom situation happening over at Halo Studios. And this is a little bit of a side point, but having three heads might work for mythological creatures, but I don't really see how this is going to stand to be a benefit for Halo Studios as a whole. But anyway, let's finish up this article. To be clear, employees have been some of the industry's finest because we all have fond memories of Halo and the Microsoft pay is nice, but their leadership is cancer. Pierre especially, and you'll hate how creatively limiting they are. I have no doubt that even though the execs finally gave in to switching to Unreal, they will find a way to organizationally make it unfun to work there, the creative said. We know that Halo has suffered from poor management, which led 343 Industries into a crisis. Because of this, Microsoft and Xbox decided to make significant adjustments, but it's still unclear whether it will return to its former glory. And if you were interested, this is the post from Will Waltz himself that covers all of the points that the article was talking about. And while there isn't a ton of information to go through, there is a few points that stick out, but mostly this just feels like industry drama. But before we wrap up this video, guys, let's just run through some of the highlights from this article. First and foremost, whoever is individually responsible for this massive change in direction, the responsibility for it ultimately lands at the feet of the executive team. It's just unfortunate that the consequences for this change in direction have affected both the studio and the franchise as a whole so massively. Next is this rebranding situation, which I really see two problems with. Firstly, in my last video, I read a quote talking about how the third-person mode seemed like a waste of time and resources for the company. But even more than a third-person mode, I think that rebranding your entire company image is probably a bigger waste of time and resources when your games are not performing as well as they should be. Will Waltz's comment about Comcast rebranding itself as Xfinity, hoping that nobody will notice, is actually incredibly on the nose here. Not only is this change in nomenclature almost certainly not going to affect the sales of Halo Infinite or any other subsequent Halo games, it's just going to incur more costs associated with the rebranding in terms of merch, logos, etc. The smaller secondary issue that I see is that it looks like the executives see Halo as nothing more than their cash cow. You don't have to be a Shaolin Grandmaster to see that it's an unwise decision to put all of your efforts into a failing project. This decision is like slapping a new coat of paint on a sinking ship without patching the leaks first. For what it's worth, they could literally call themselves Sparkle Bunny Studios, and if their next game isn't an absolute banger, then the franchise is probably done for. At the end of the day, no amount of rebranding or copying Fortnite is actually going to fix the quality of your product. Anyway, guys, that's probably going to do it for this video. I think I've dunked on Halo Studios quite enough with these last two videos. To tell you the truth, I'm really just more disappointed than anything with the direction that this studio has gone. Halo used to be such an amazing franchise until these corporate interests got their hooks into it, and instead of a glorious death with Halo Reach, now we're on a slow pathway into darkness. But that being said, guys, if you want to support this channel, please do not forget to comment down below what you think and also subscribe so you don't miss out on anything else that we have to offer. We've got a lot more of these videos coming up and even more in the works, so as always, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, and until next time, love you guys, safe travels.